You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.
So at least there's that.
Look at those assholes out there.
Yeah, we're going to be those people here on episode 208 of the Informed Fair Podcast.
But, folks, what we're going to do, we're going to hold all of that to the end of the show, and we're going to give you a massive spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So you can either leave it or you can keep it. Whatever. We'll cut so raw short because, God, it's bad again this week.
Also, we don't have that much Premier League soccer to talk about. It
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, we're at the point of the season where the teams that were supposed to win won, and that's kind of all that mattered. We will talk Champions League. Of course, we'll talk Champions League.
Sure.
Why not? Semifinals have finished, so we will get to the results of those. Wes is back live in studio tonight, so we're going to be recording. Yeah, it's big time. And, hey, I'm recording. So eagle-eared listeners may remember last time one named Jackie Massiana,
not me,
made a last time she was on the podcast for a brief moment. That was only a brief moment because someone really cares about her and decided to edit part of the podcast because she did not know we were recording, but she knows now. Who knows? Maybe she'll chime in with Infinity War talk.
We can only hope.
I mean,
Spoilers.
Not yet. But
middle schoolers cannot handle keeping spoilers to themselves.
Spoilers.
That's a word of advice.
Han Solo died.
That's true.
Oh wait, wrong movie.
You did that though.
Yeah, I did that.
You did that. That wasn't the worst spoiler ever though.
No.
Wait. So are you glad now we actually went and watched?
Yes, because literally the first thing I heard on Monday were spoilers.
Bastards.
And we were gonna wait till Monday.
And
then it was like, no, can't do it.
And you saw Black Panther first.
Yeah.
Which
made the ending even worse, I think, in some ways.
That's a great movie, wasn't it?
It's really good.
Black Panther was so good. And then Infinity War, to me, blew Black Panther out.
I think Black Panther is one of the best Marvel movies.
Oh.
I don't actually know that it's one of my favorites.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but just as well as it was put
really
together.
Good. And by the way, there's a scene, and we can talk about this now, because this is a 3-month-old movie.
Yeah,
it's fine.
seriously. If we're spoiling Black Panther for you, this is your problem.
The after Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger takes the throne, there's one of, and I forget his name, but one of the generals of one of the tribes gets really into it. He's like, yeah, I'm following you now because you're doing what I want to do. And
it was his buddy. It was Black Panther's best friend.
Yeah, and he was married or dating one of the head woman soldier. Yes. Well, apparently there is a scene they cut that has them arguing right after that happens about the direction they should actually go. That you're like, hey, this added a lot of context, and apparently got taken out because people felt that it made the movie drag. It's like a 3-minute scene.
Nobody likes to see other couples fight.
Apparently. Anyway.
Could just be passive aggressive like me and my wife are with each other.
What? You guys, I don't believe that. So we will talk about that much later on. So first, we, as always, are presented by NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. We never stop, and football certainly doesn't.
Literally, there will be a 2-week break until the World Cup starts.
It's true. And then, so we have 2 weeks, then it's World Cup, and then I think it's 2 weeks, and then it's ICC.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 weeks, then season.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, it doesn't stop. If you're going to the World Cup, you're getting a 2-week vacation this summer. Well, but of course, with the teams we'll see at the ICC, Liverpool and Dortmund, they'll have guys on the squad who, we probably won't see Jordan Henderson and Roberto Firmino and those guys. because, they will get a nice little extended break. Those
Probably
guys
won't see Salah either, really.
Probably won't see Salah or Mane.
Yeah.
Because both of them, well, and of course, then it kind of depends on how deep you go. But just some things to look at, But you know who we will see definitely for
Christian
somebody?
Pulisic.
We're going to see Pulisic for someone. Will it be in a red or a yellow shirt?
True.
But folks, we'll get into transfer speculation.
Oh God.
In the summer months.
We have weeks. It'll happen. So let's dive right into the Premier League talk first. From past weekend, West Brom beats Newcastle 1-0 at St. James Park. Matt Phillips with the goal there in the 29th minute. Does give, I believe, still West Brom a chance to get out. It's not a great chance to get out, but I believe they actually still have a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah, they are mathematically there. But, I mean, everything has to fall so perfect for them. But, give them credit. They're doing exactly what they have to do. They're getting results. They're winning.
And Newcastle, I mean, they went on the road and won against a team that really should have beat them. So, big win for them. We'll see if maybe it keeps up. Hopefully not, because they play Tottenham this weekend.
And their manager, touted by Roger Bennett, is maybe the United States next. Because, hey, why not? 3 good results.
No.
Let's make it. Let's give them the job.
Southampton, speaking of teams trying to stay alive, Southampton stays alive. 2-1 over Bournemouth. Dusan Tadic with the brace there. Yeah. Oh, we haven't spoken to Clint in a while. We should have spoiled Infinity
I still talk to Claver down there.
I saw him post on Facebook the other day, yesterday.
Yeah, he still likes trying to troll me.
Yeah, he didn't appreciate that Nashville Town Council meeting last night, apparently.
No, he didn't. I'll have to find out about that on Friday when I go back to work.
Josh King, though, had also a goal for Bournemouth in that match. Southampton, though, with the 2-1 win, does keep their hopes alive. And this is, now that they're out of the FA Cup, this is all they have really to play for. And again, I felt like this match really showed, how weird it is that Southampton most likely may be going down, because they're still really talented. But
they've got players.
They do.
Liverpool's just waiting.
There it is. Oh, they're like vultures circling. Crystal Palace, back from the dead. Remember when we are 5 weeks into this Premier League season. Palace hadn't scored a goal.
With the worst manager in Premier League
history. And now it's 5-0. They are beating Leicester City. Zaha, MacArthur, Loftus-Cheek, Van Aanholt, and hey, Benteke.
Oh my God, Benteke scored a penalty.
And he scored a penalty. He didn't screw it up this time, but even then it wouldn't have mattered. Palace now, they're in the clear. They're good. They've hit the magical 38-point mark.
40's your goal. 38, you're sitting there, and there just aren't enough matches left really for West Brom to catch them. There aren't enough matches left for Stoke to catch them, and they would have to really, really shit the bed for.
I mean, at this point, you'd have to be passed by Bournemouth, Watford, Brighton and Hove, West Ham, Huddersfield, Swansea, and Southampton to get relegated.
Yeah, there's a few of those who are still really fighting for their lives and not so much worrying about Crystal Palace.
Amazing. So amazing turnaround from Crystal Palace and another.
And could we truly say Roy Hodgson, manager of the year? No, we can't.
We joke. If it wasn't for Pep.
No, it'd be someone else. Trust me.
Okay, that's fair.
It would not be Roy.
That's fair. Burnley and Brighton and Hove played to a 0-0 draw.
There were 19,000 people there.
Yeah, good on turf more. They need you to stay away.
God.
But we love you, Burnley. Hey, they have a chance. They play Arsenal this weekend.
Burnley's one to Europe, man.
They can get level on points with Arsenal in 6th place if they beat Arsenal this weekend. Just saying.
Where's it at?
That's true.
If it's at Arsenal have a chance. If it's at Turf Moor, go ahead and just give them the 3 points.
A team that did win on the road, though, is Everton. Yeah. They beat Huddersfield 2-0.
The most exciting named stadium in the country.
John Smith Stadium. Very American. Sank to Son, the man Sam Allardyce never wanted to play but keeps scoring goals.
But now says he's going to be a superstar.
Yeah, of course he is.
With Sam at the helm.
Yeah. the first transfer that actually worked for them this year. Finally gets some goals, and then Idrissa Gueye also chipped in one in the 77th minute. Chelsea gets a 1-0 win over Swansea. This was pretty damaging for the Swans. They are still staying up as of this moment, but this could have been a big one for them to pip here. Cesc Fabregas with the very early goal in the 4th minute. of that one.
He didn't score too soon, Davo.
No, he didn't. We thought he did, but he did not. Manchester City just keeps rolling along. They beat West Ham 4-1. Aaron Cresswell got it to halftime at 2-1, so there was that. But, just too much firepower.
And then Jesus rose. And
he does.
Things happened.
Yeah, and then in their last duel.
The final the final Josie Arson derby.
The clash of fates. Manchester United 2, Arsenal 1. Paul Pogba, who has suddenly turned into a good player again, he scored in the 16th minute.
Apparently, Josie's letting him play this thing called offense.
It's crazy. It's too bad he won't be there next year.
For an attacking midfielder, crazy, right?
Henrik... It was like, what, a month ago we were talking about Pogba is probably going to leave because they're not going to get rid of Josie?
Might still.
Who knows? Who knows? Henry Mkhitaryan, though, leveled it for Arsenal in the 51st minute, and it was game on. But then the man that actually Josie wants to keep, it's not Paul Pogba. Oh, no. It's Marwan Fellaini.
It's funny that all 3 goals were scored by disappointing United players.
Oh, that cuts. Oh, Fellaini.
Fellaini's like the poor man's Emery Chan right now. It's like both their managers, Klopp wanted to keep Chan. Josie really wants to keep Fellaini. And both of them are like, nah, I think I'm going to go somewhere else.
Oh, Fellaini with the goal in the 91st minute wins it for United. And there will be no more tie flipping as Josie gets the better of Arsene.
The most uncomfortable of all pictures ever taken was a pic with Arsene, Sir Alex, and Josie all together, considering the fact that his greatest nemesis in life were Alex Ferguson and Josie Mourinho.
We'll have a good
and he had bad blood with both of them.
Sir Alex always has a nice choice of wine. I will go share a glass with you. No, he won't, Ursula.
Has a very red nose.
And then on Monday Night Football on NBC Sports, it was Tottenham 2, Watford 0. Dele Alli having a very shit season, scores again in the 16th minute. And then Harry Kane...
trying to get that golden boot.
He's trying. He scores in the 48th minute to make it 2-0.
Is there any truth that Harry Kane has tried to claim Dele Alli's goal?
He's tried.
He's trying. Was it turned down by the FA?
No, I heard they're
probably still highly reviewing it.
I actually heard they're gonna play for it in Fortnite this week.
Oh, damn children!
Fuck Fortnite.
Even
though it's made literally across the street from us.
That really makes you sit there and think that these guys are they're the ones that we put all our trust in. Yeah. And it's like, damn it, you play the same shit my 13-year-old plays. God.
Oh, does he play Fortnite?
Probably. I don't know. I try not to talk to him that much.
Yeah, that's fair. It is actually made right across the street.
Yeah, I knew it was here in old Cackalack. I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, if you just go out and instead of turning one way or the other, if you just go straight, you're in their parking lot.
Wow.
It's really weird. Epic Games. You guys do things. So Tottenham, with the win, though, over Watford, does keep up with Chelsea, and now with their magic number is 5 points, either that Chelsea must drop or Tottenham must earn.
Tottenham with 3 matches left.
Yes. Right. And so if they get 5 points in those 3 matches, they will be in the Champions League next season. Or if Chelsea drop 5 points, that also works. And then finally, Wes, let's head to the not as fun Anfield corner for the week. As we go into the weekend schedule, it starts on Friday this week. Brighton and Hove taking on Manchester United at 3 p.m. On Saturday, you get Stoke Crystal Palace at 7:30 a.m. It's a big one for Stoke trying to stay up. At 10 a.m., you get Leicester West Ham, Watford Newcastle, West Brom Tottenham, Bournemouth Swansea, and then at 12:30 you get Everton versus Southampton. Everton is definitely there for the taking. So we'll see if the Saints can do it. Sunday at 8:30, you get Man City versus Huddersfield Town at the Etihad. Great. And at 11:30, you get Arsenal versus Burnley, which, as we mentioned earlier, I believe on the podcast, Burnley can join Arsenal level in points in 6th place if they do go to the Emirates and win. As I mentioned, it's at the Emirates, so Arsenal still has a chance. But we'll see what Burnley can do. And then also at 11:30, the much better game, Chelsea versus Liverpool. And that is something I wanted to ask you, Wes. If you are Jurgen Klopp, going to Stamford Bridge, knowing that a point basically secures your slot in next year's Champions League, Champions League final regardless.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of team do you send out there against Chelsea?
Depending on everyone's health, obviously. I think you go strong against Chelsea.
Okay.
Because you've got to feel, obviously a win wraps you up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to have a full week off between that and your next match. It is at 11:30. Thank God it's another 7:30. Of course, it does me no good this week because I'm working nights.
Yeah.
Actually, a 7:30 would have done me better, but it's never in the cards for old Gil. I believe you're going to see a strong Liverpool squad put out.
Okay.
Because I think he knows how important that is to go ahead and try to wrap things up.
Mm-hmm. And then,
because once again, you go get a draw and you're fine.
Yeah, and then you don't even have to really play that hard in your final match against Brighton and Hove.
Exactly, and hopefully by then Brighton and Hove will be. I think they're very close to being safe anyway. So they're not. They don't really have anything left to play for at this point. Well, they're down there. They're down there, kind of near the bottom. They're at 37.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they'll be safe by then, and it can just be a nice little afternoon stroll through Enfield as the crowd sings "Allay, allay, allay," as we sing that over and over, and just get the lads ready for our trip to the Ukraine.
Oh, the Ukraine! That's where everybody wants to go.
To the block.
As we look at the table here, as always, Manchester City is in first place. That's,
as always.
Manchester United has just about locked up second place. They are at 77 points. Liverpool right now at 72. Tottenham at 71. There is a chance Tottenham, because they also have game in hand against Liverpool, Tottenham could pass them and jump up to third place by the end of the season. But they also still have to, as we mentioned, secure their Champions League spot and go ahead and do that, as they are currently 5 points ahead of Chelsea, who are in fifth. Arsenal are 9 points back of Chelsea, though, so they're not going up any farther. Burnley, as we said, is 3 points back of Arsenal, and they're in seventh place. But they're 6 points up on Everton, and there's a 15-goal differential. So Burnley's going to the Europa League next year.
Going to Europa.
Be better than the last few teams that just jumped into Europa League. That's all we ask. And then at the bottom of your heart, the relegation zone. Swansea currently is the team sitting right now in 17th place. They are just 1 point ahead of Southampton, so much still to play for there. Stoke is just 3 points out of safety. They could still make a charge, but they also are only 2 matches left, whereas Swansea and Southampton both have 3 left. And then West Brom, as we mentioned, basically has to win out and hope the world falls apart around them to stay up. Mathematically still in it, but that's about the only thing they are. All right, so now we head to the Champions League. So we had some close matches last week. We had some not so close matches this week. Sort of flipped the script a little bit. Do you want to start in Madrid or do you want to start in Rome?
Let's start in Madrid. That's where the week started, so we'll start there.
We will start in Madrid then. I've never understood, why do they switch it? Why don't, if you play on Tuesday week 1, you play on Tuesday week 2?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, I don't understand this.
I don't know, because it's a huge advantage. Obviously, it's a huge advantage to play Tuesday the first week.
Yeah,
you get the extra time off, but and Liverpool and City kind of had it tough the first time around with theirs.
Right.
I don't know. It really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, especially then going Wednesday, Tuesday. It's just bizarre. Yeah. Like, just keep it consistent with this.
You either get 8 days or you get 6. It's Jesus.
It's insane. But Real Madrid and Bayern Munich did have to play on Tuesday. Josh Kimmich got Bayern right back in it, though 3 minutes in. They got it to 2-2. They were still down because of the away goals of Real Madrid, but they were level on aggregate. And then Karim Benzema apparently still plays for Real Madrid. He picks up a brace. First goal 8 minutes later. Second goal right after halftime. Gets Madrid to a 2-1 lead, almost effectively kills off the tie. James Rodriguez, though, against his former club, does pull a goal back in the 63rd minute. Bayern had a chance late. I want to say it was Hummels, or not.
I believe it was.
It was Hummels who had a free header right at the very end that, if it had gone in, would have given Bayern the win on away goals. It would have been, or actually, yes, it would. Yeah, it would have been 4-4 on aggregate. Bayern would have had their third away goal to beat Reals too. So really, between that, the keeper for Bayern making a couple errors over the 2-leg tie.
Oh, and that was one of the worst ones I've ever seen. That one he made. Oh my god! You kind of said this to a different extent when Juventus played Tottenham in this round of 16. Sometimes the better team doesn't always advance in these knockout rounds, and I kind of think that's what happened here. I think Bayern was the better team, and their goalie fucked up a few times. Well, of course, when we talk about Bayern goalie, it is very apt to say that we're not talking about Manuel Neuer, who is arguably the best goalkeeper in the world. He's missed almost all of the season through injury. This is Sven Ulrich, who may or may not be related somewhere to Lars. I don't know. If he is, then this is
darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror.
If he is, this is sweet revenge for the whole Napster deal.
Yeah.
How dare you take away our free music, you jackass? So Napster comes back and strikes the Ulrich clan.
Of course.
But it was one of those moments. Sven Ulrich is a good backup goalkeeper. Sven Ulrich is not the guy that you want between the sticks in the Champions League semifinal facing Real Madrid. You want him playing Kaiserslautern on Wednesday in between a Champions League match. Yeah. And really, there's so many things you can say about Munich. The injury certainly didn't help. I don't believe Robin played. Also,
Arjen?
Big center.
Oh, sorry. God, I know he got hurt in the first leg.
Boateng.
Yeah.
The one I thought about was Kevin Prince Boateng. The Boateng.
This is Jerome.
This is Jerome. Yeah, this is the good one. And so they were definitely missing some guys, but also I think there's something to say about Munich in the years. Oh my God, that's so bad. That was so not Benzema doing shit, by the way. But it was. I think it's a fair point to make in these years where Bundesliga is just a complete one-horse race. We see Bayern at this point of the season slip.
Yeah.
And one of the big reasons is a reason that we also talk about with PSG. I think there's something to having to, basically being on cruise control for 3 months and then suddenly having to flip the switch when you're playing another elite level team.
Oh, certainly.
When you look at it, you look at who's left. Obviously, the two left. You've got Liverpool. You've got Real Madrid. They're both. Let's technically say Liverpool's in fourth place at the moment.
Sure.
Let's say Spurs wins their match in hand.
Sure, that's fine.
You've got the two fourth place teams in their leagues who have had to fight, scratch, and kill each other and go blood and guts every week just to stay in the top four race in their leagues. They're switched on. You can't say Liverpool nor Madrid are switched off because they're not. They're having to go at it every week. They're not. They don't have the luxury of Bayern Munich having a 20-point lead and having the title wrapped up since early March. You look at teams like, just look who was in there late. Roma. Roma's having to fight. But teams like that, they're switched on here late in the Champions League rounds. Barcelona looked a little switched off. They've kind of got the league wrapped up. City, I'm really not going to say that City was switched off because if you look at City's still kicking the shit out of people. City just ran into their
actual
perfect
counter.
Opponent. Yeah, they just hit the perfect opponent who gets them. God, they've lost 5 matches this year. 3 of them are to Liverpool. So, obviously, Liverpool knows City well. You look at Roma, who are having to fight in Serie A. I really think there's something to it. The last great Bayern team we saw was the team that beat Klopp's Dortmund. And it's because they had to be switched on because Dortmund was there. And I think there really is something to that. You can have all these superstars, and Dortmund have them. They've got all these star players. But, it's that old football adage. What do you do when you get punched in the mouth?
And I agree. I mean, you could argue, even though they're the team advancing, Real is kind of also in cruise control. They are not going to win the title. They're in no danger of finishing outside the top 4 in Spain. And they didn't look super great over these 2 legs either.
Oh, no. No, they did not. This was... For it being Real Madrid and Bayern Munich and the expectations, these are by far the best 2 teams.
Who would we rather see over 2 legs? Yeah. Oh, this matchup will be great.
Yeah, that was a shit 2-leg matchup.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad. It was not great football. There were moments of brilliance. Marcelo, mainly, and Joshua Kimmich with his. But, I mean, it was bad football. If you're Mo Salah or Mane or Firmino, you're looking going, we get Madrid's back line? We going to score. I'll tell you that much. They might score more, but damn, we going to score some goals. It's funny, as we'll get to it a little bit. I mean, they could be flying in the Ukraine on both ends.
Yeah.
This could be interesting. But, Madrid gets through. Madrid's got the pedigree, man. Those guys. But I think the difference in Madrid and Bayern, maybe even being on the cruise control a little bit, these Madrid players know how to turn it on and go.
Yeah.
Bayern's guys, maybe not so much.
Sure.
And especially when you lose somebody as influential as Boateng and somebody as influential as Robin.
Sure.
That definitely is not good. And Lewandowski, if this was Lewandowski auditioning for Madrid, woo, buddy, he fell on his face. That's it. I don't think they're going to take these 2 matches and just say, "Oh, you suck." But just if you want to go on that. You did not exactly pass with flying colors, young man.
No, they did not. But they are going to go through are the Madridians. They are going to advance to the final, where they will be the home team, quote unquote, against Liverpool, who does advance after losing to Roma 4-2. They did get the early
best loss ever.
Mane scored in the 9th minute to almost effectively wrap up the tie. Milner does commit the own goal. Beautiful, beautiful face goal in the 15th minute. That did give Roma a little bit of life. And as it went towards the end, if Wijnaldum doesn't score in the 25th minute, maybe it's a little dicey. But Wijnaldum does score to get him the second away goal.
I want to say, and I have not confirmed this yet, I want to say that may have been Gini Wijnaldum's first
away
goal since leaving PSV.
Maybe.
Because, it's been very kind of infamously talked about. All the goals he scored at Newcastle, all the goals he scored in the league at Liverpool have all been home goals. That may have been his first away goal, and if it did, it was the biggest.
Yes. He does score in the 25th to give Liverpool a 2-1 lead going to the half, and it was a 7-3 aggregate lead. Roma does sort of come back in the second half. Edin Dzeko with a goal in the 52nd. Nangolan has a weird little brace at the end, and he gets a penalty on the last kick of the game to get Roma 4-2, 7-6 they fall on aggregate. If they had somehow managed to score one more, they would have at least gotten it to extra time.
Right, they were going to extra time because the 2 Liverpool away goals.
But Wes, as you kind of talked about, it was a little weird to see Roma, even after the Dzeko goal, not going super hard for it, even though it would have still would have obviously taken 3 goals in the next 38 minutes to actually get them to extra time. But still, this was a team that scored 3 against Barcelona just a couple weeks ago. Shorter time frame, but not impossible, but it didn't seem like they really believed it at the time.
Well, and there are times it was really pointed out on the Fox Soccer post-game show. I can't remember if it was Alexi Lalas or if it was Warren Barton pointing it out. But, Nangolan gets this goal, and then he just kind of stands there like, yeah, okay, I scored, great. And, usually you score a goal like that, you're sprinting you're getting the ball, you're getting back to midfield and starting play. And just one that comes to my head that I remember obviously very well every night I go to sleep. 2005 in Istanbul. I mean, Liverpool's down 3-0. Steven Gerrard hits that header. What's the first thing Steven Gerrard's doing? He's sprinting to the goal. Give me the ball. Let's go. Harmon scores that second goal. Give me the ball. Let's go. And that was, with more time on the clock than what was going on here. or actually probably around the same in that 50-so minute mark. And it just looked like Roma were resigned to their fate. They were resigned. And even after the penalty, you're like, shit, okay, we got it within one. Let's get the ball and go. No, Nygelen just kind of stands there like, yeah, I hit a penalty. Great. Okay. Let me just kind of walk back up the field now. And somebody has to go grab the ball and go. And it's just, as a Liverpool fan, I was never nervous in this. Sure. Once we got the Mane goal, I felt we were fine. We were talking about a little beforehand. I don't even think we were recording yet. There were 3 bizarre goals in this match. It was the opener was basically Lovren clearing a ball, and Milner just happens to be 5 yards away from him, gets drilled in the face, and the ball bounces perfectly back into the goal. I cannot wait to see what he says on Twitter about that, by the way.
We can go ahead and also pull it up here. Sorry, go ahead.
And then the Dzeko goal kind of came from not a great job by Loris Karius to get the ball out. Here it is. See, wham! And you'll see the goals. You'll see the goals come up here. See how it goes just right straight to Dzeko. That's a fox in the box. Here's Nygelen. That just takes this weird little bounce, and then the last one, the penalty, comes on a handball that, as we were talking about earlier, in the Premier League, they're not calling that apparently. But in Europe, they're calling it. The difference in Roma, Liverpool, and Roma, Barcelona was Roma played on par with Barcelona in that first match. You want to talk about some weird goals. 2 own goals in that match. It really kind of put them in the hole. They get the late Dzeko goal. And then when they go back to Rome, Barcelona were just like, all right, hey, we got this. We're just gonna kind of chill for 90 minutes. And they got their asses caught because of it. They got caught with their pants down. Liverpool were well aware of that. Liverpool came out gunning. They get the goal in the 9th minute from Mane on a picture-perfect Liverpool counter. If that own goal doesn't go in and Wijnaldum gets the header on the other end, it's 2-0 going to halftime. And that match is completely over. Instead, they did do it the Liverpool way, which is to do it as fucking bloody difficult as possible. Make us all sit there going, come on, just get the damn last whistle. But I think there was no doubt over 2 legs. Even with a 4-2 scoreline today, I argue Liverpool was a better team. And definitely over the tie, I think by far Liverpool were the better team. I think they definitely deserved to be there. The Madrid-Bayern, you could kind of toss a coin. Yeah. I'll give it to Madrid because they did what they had to do to get there. But I don't think they looked anywhere near as competent and dangerous as Liverpool looked over 2 legs against Roma.
Certainly, and that does, as I said, set up our final in Kiev on May 26th. The home team is going to be Real Madrid versus Liverpool.
They should both be wearing their home kits though, because Madrid in white, Liverpool in red. So
that doesn't really really I guess it matters for coin toss.
Yeah, sure.
There you go.
Which side's the cop? I can't tell.
But this is now obviously this is for both these teams. Well, for at least for Real Madrid right now, they're already in the Champions League next year. For Liverpool, as we mentioned, they're basically a win against Chelsea this weekend, away from being in the Champions League. So
basically a win and a draw away.
Yeah, most likely both these teams do not need this match to get in the Champions League next year. However, real stakes still. Real Madrid going for a three-peat. Liverpool going for number 6.
Madrid would be the first team since Munich back in the 70s to pull the three-peat.
And Liverpool would be going for their 6th, which I believe would put them 3rd?
That would be 3rd all time. They'd be 1 behind AC Milan and however many behind Madrid at this point. But it would separate them from that Barcelona-Bayern Munich group. And, anything for us to be able to talk a little more shit about is fun. But now, of course, by the time this match rolls around, everything else will be done.
Yes.
So we will know if Liverpool suddenly desperately have to have this. Now, you think that won't up my damn anxiety level another notch? If I got to sit for 2 weeks going, son of a bitch, we got to win this thing to get back. Oh, my God, our entire summer plans are going to shit. Oh, fuck, now we got to play Madrid. Oh, my God. Can you just imagine the blood in the water around Merseyside if that was the damn case?
Can never enjoy anything.
No, God, no. God, no. We enjoy when it's over. We're like Klopp. We're relieved that it's over.
That's the truth.
Literally.
One thing we can talk about then, as we started setting it up a little bit, is something we thought about talking about. It's been a story that Klopp's number 2 might be out the door, or already is out the door. There's been very conflicting reports about that. Yes, and that maybe he's the next Arsenal man. But this is something very interesting. Together for 17 years, rising through the ranks of Germany.
They were at Mainz together,
and then into
that's
Dortmund.
Where they met. And you know, Klopp 7 years at Mainz, he was his number 2 at Mainz. And then they went to Dortmund. He was his number 2 at Dortmund. And then they come to Liverpool, and he's his number 2 at Liverpool.
I don't remember if it was you that told me, or if I read an article. They basically, when they got together, they said, you know, whichever we're going to work together, and whichever one of us gets the head job first, the other one's going to be the number 2.
Yep.
And that's how it's been for the last 17 years. I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to go and try and be a head coach. So that's where it becomes was this an acrimonious exit, or if he does leave, was it just, hey, you got a good job offer, stay with us through the Champions League final, and then go do your thing?
Well, and also it's interesting if you look into their history. They've had these bust-ups before. I think one thing about this one is it's very public because it's England.
Yeah.
And, you know, they don't ever shine a light on shit in England, do they?
No.
So, you know, I almost worry that has something to do with it. But apparently, you know, this has been going on for a little while now. He hasn't been involved in the planning meetings, hasn't been involved in picking the starting 11. But, I mean, there have been arguments and fights over the years between him and Klopp. He's walked off on Klopp before and, you know, come back kind of like a prodigal son kind of thing. So I've got a feeling we're not going to see him back on the sideline this year. And we'll just have to see what the summer brings. But it's just, it is a little side story. The timing was just as abysmal as it could possibly be. God almighty, man. Of all freaking weeks, do it after this. Do it after the Chelsea match. Who gives a shit then? We're not so worried about it. But yeah, so that's interesting to see. A little side note on this matchup. We talked about it a little earlier. A rematch of the 1981 European final where these two met. Liverpool won that night in the Parc des Princes. I'm sure Arsene Wenger was somewhere in France.
Smoking.
He was probably in Japan, knowing him. But Liverpool beat them 1-0. A 82nd minute Alan Kennedy goal got it done that night. And that was Liverpool's 3rd European Cup.
Don't think it'll be 1-0 this time.
God, if it's 1-0 in this match, I don't know what the hell happened. Last time these two met in European competition was the year after Suarez left, when they were in the same group, and Liverpool did not qualify. Before that, the last time they met in any sort of a knockout was, I believe, 08-09, which was a famous Liverpool just bludgeoned them over 2 matches. I believe beat them 5-6-1 on aggregate. We can go back and look.
We
That's
can.
the great thing about the history.
So let's go to where is the?
Where are you? 08-09.
Let's see. Let's scroll down here. European and Champions League. Oh, this is riveting.
Oh, this is gonna be
Podcasting.
great.
You said 08-09.
I
Did
believe
you?
it was 08-09. Yes.
Where's?
Go
Oh,
down
here we
to
go. Here we go.
Champions League.
There we go. And then.
And then.
No, and then.
Thank you.
No, and then. There it is, Liverpool Madrid. It was 5-0.
Oh God, I didn't see it for a second. There we go. Yeah.
Yep. Beat them 1-0 at the Bernabeu, and then the very famous European Anfield night.
The last time England was really good in the Champions League. You can't see it at home. Look at those 3 England flags in the semifinals.
Oh Lord, yeah, and that's because Chelsea had to take out Liverpool to get there. And that was a Barcelona winning year. That was one of the great Barcelona teams. So, but yeah, you had Chelsea, United, Arsenal, all in the semifinal. Man, Arsenal fans remember that. Remember when I was good at my job. That was an Alan Jackson song being performed by Arsene Wenger, by the way.
Well done. So that's going to do it then for our news and notes, unless you had anything else you wanted to add as a preview for this final. We'll have more time.
I mean, we've got like nearly the entire month to get ready for it, so we'll just stick with that at the moment. Like you said, with Chelsea coming up this weekend, it's going to be interesting to see what Liverpool team has put out. I think it's all going to come down based on who the hell's healthy.
That's true.
Who's healthy?
So with that, let's head into. We'll do So Raw first. So, what happened in So Raw this week? I have no clever thing for it.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Because apparently they can't write anything clever themselves.
Well, it's just we're in this kind of like weird little time. It's after WrestleMania. We've had the brand split, but we still have a pay-per-view coming up where guys are cross-brand fighting from previous storylines.
Huh.
Yes, it's like Samoa Joe's on SmackDown, Roman Reigns is on Raw, but we're still going to have Reigns and Joe at Backlash.
That's awkward.
I believe Backlash is this Sunday, by the way. I got to work, got to figure. But, like The Miz is taking on Seth Rollins. They're on different shows now. So they're we're not getting these face-to-faces like we're used to. They're just kind of like talking shit back and forth to each other. And then you're working it in with these next storylines because, with Rollins, he's still got this thing kind of going on with Finn Balor where they're frenemies kind of. And then you still got the Miz-tourage, which was the Miz's entourage, who are still on Raw. And it's like they're still fighting for the pride of the Miz. It's a confusing moment. After Backlash, things are going to smooth out. I think we're going to do a lot better. They had the big show in Saudi Arabia this past week.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I wanted to, just haven't had the chance. But apparently it was a very long show. There was a 50-man Royal Rumble. Braun Strowman won the Royal Rumble, which is how life should be because he's the baddest human being on earth. We had 7 title matches, but the only title change to me was kind of a predictable one. It was Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy, the light and the darkness together. They are winning the Raw Tag Team titles, so that was good. Got them going on that end.
He's woke.
Oh, broken and woken. Magnificent. But I mean, for everything I hear, it was a good show. Styles Nakamura match really carried over a lot because
keep punching him in the nuts.
That's it. Nakamura's go-to move is punch him in the dick.
Honorable Japanese wrestler.
Punch you in the dick and come up behind you and give you the old between the legs, boom, the old uppercut. And that's really playing into this new evolution of the Nakamura character, which is, he was tired of being the good guy who, wasn't getting what he thought he deserved. So he's like, well, you know what? Then I'll start punching him in the dick, and I'm going to take what I deserve.
There you go.
Well, that happened the other night in their title match, and apparently Styles recovered and just snapped and just beat the living shit out, put him through a table. On Raw, or on SmackDown this week, they came out and Styles wanted an apology for the way he's been acting. Instead, he got a sneak attack hit in the dick again because that's what happens.
Jugular.
I will maybe get to see some dick punches in
Sweet.
person coming up later this month.
Oh my god. It's a big month for you.
I can't let Callie hear the podcast because it's a surprise.
Okay.
I don't think she'll listen this far. Don't worry. But me and Miss Callie will be going to SmackDown later in the month, and we'll get to see AJ Styles, and I'm excited about that, and she'll be excited. She likes AJ Styles. She'll get to see Charlotte Flair, which makes her very happy. She likes Charlotte. She's got blonde hair just like her.
They're basically twins.
Basically twins. Everybody with blonde hair is a twin with my child, apparently.
There you go.
But that's my thing is, it's not that everything's really bad right now. It's just there's so much cross and convoluted at the moment. And it's just because they did the shakeup. The shakeup needed to happen, though. Don't get me wrong. But as soon as we can finish up these old feuds and get to the new stuff, I'm really expecting a nice bounce back. I think with the guys they've got on each show now, I think we got a chance to have a really fun summer coming up. I think SummerSlam could be really good this year. And on top of that, you've got a lot of new people in there. Not just switching shows, but I mean, it really brought a lot of new talent over the last 6 weeks. And they're finding their feet and trying to get their way in. And once again, you're developing and having to start these new rivalries. So I'm a little down at the moment, but I definitely see a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. Maybe give it another week or so, and I think we're going to get some nice bounce back coming from Raw and SmackDown. But that's kind of this week's so Raw. I don't have a lot out of the ring at this point. Like I said, folks, just hang tight. I think once we hit June, we're going to really start picking up again WWE. I think we're going to have a really nice run to SummerSlam. There
you go. And we'll see who will be pimping for that as we get closer to there. So that's pretty much going to do it for our show, except for the giant spoiler cast that's about to happen.
This will be this week's Watch 4.
Yes, this will be the Watch 4. So just in case...
Even though you, just a quick mini Watch 4, you did see Archer.
I did see Archer.
We saw Archer. Archer comes on tonight. We'll actually get to watch it because we won't be doing this. It's going to be magnificent. Folks, my favorite thing about Archer is just the fact that Krieger is a parent.
Yes, it's...
Named Crackers. But he still acts completely like Krieger. And the preview for this week, he's doing just the most Krieger of Krieger things.
Yes, he is.
So,
Kriegs.
Folks, just watch Archer. You don't even have to so much have watched it in the past.
It doesn't matter.
No, it's a great new story.
Yeah. You might be confused why there's a talking parrot, but then so are we.
Just say it's Krieger.
It's Krieger. All right, so we do want to go ahead then and thank NGSC Sports. NGSCsports.com. We never stop. You can find them on Twitter. We're on Twitter. You are Wes.
I'm at Wes Bradshaw 21.
I am at Edward Green. As a collective, we are at AFA Pod. You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/The All New Sports Show. That's our parent show that might be making a return appearance once we head to Charlotte in a couple months.
It'll be a special presentation of the Foreign Affair Podcast, The All New Sports Show.
Yes. Longest title ever.
Assault!
Oh, yeah, okay.
I was trying to think of my word.
Oh, there you go.
All I could think of was Renegade, and I knew that wasn't it.
No.
Assault!
Reload it.
Reloaded Assault.
What are we doing? So we got that. Thanks to our podcast providers, including Podbean.com, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio app, iTunes Music Store, and Google Play Music. We'll be back next week. You will be not live in studio, but you will be...
I'll be good.
Okay.
I'll be good next week.
So we'll be coming back from you and there. And with that, we will not tell you to stay safe just yet.
Not yet. It's not time to stay safe.
It's not time.
Hey, by the way, folks, I have an Instagram now.
Yes. You want to pimp your Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Wes Bradshaw 21.
What's your Instagram?
I don't even know.
That's good.
Way to put yourself over.
Here's the thing. I've had Instagram for like 4 years.
I know.
Never posted
I told you.
The only thing I ever had on there was stuff that you had like tagged me in. So I was like, well, you know what? I can start playing with this Instagram thing.
Now that you have a cute daughter.
I have a Snapchat, too. I still haven't really figured out the Snapchat yet.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Everybody I work with does Snapchat.
Oh, no, yeah. I think, now I'm trying to find what one-name producer Jackie is. Jackie Mast with 3 S's at the end.
Yeah, because you need that many S's.
It's true.
Is she a masshole?
Yeah,
because that's why she loves the Red Sox. So with that,
best team in baseball.
Mookie Betts hit 3 more home runs today.
Mookie,
God, he's good. All right, so with that, this is it. This is the end of the podcast. If you do not want to get spoiled about Infinity War,
that's right. We're going to talk Avengers: Infinity War. These are the spoilers coming up. We're not holding back. We're going to talk about the whole movie.
Literally it.
So if you haven't seen it yet. We do bid you a good day.
Yes.
I say good day to you.
Yes.
So you guys just check us back out next week.
Yeah.
But if you want to listen to our thoughts on Infinity War, if you've seen it, you want to listen to it. If you haven't seen it, don't care.
True.
And you just want to be like, well, let's check out what all the hubbub's about. Oh, the hubbub.
Spoiler, the movie starts and ends.
Oh, my gosh, you gave it away. There's a beginning and an end. Well, I'm not even seriously, Jesus Christ. Okay, so Ed, you want to give them the spoiler countdown?
Sure. Spoiler countdown in 5, 4, 3,
Clint.
2, 1. Holy fuck!
Jesus Christ.
Everybody's dead!
I'm still in shock. Everybody's dead except who I thought was going to die.
Yeah. Everyone who we thought was going to die didn't.
Wait, who did you think was gonna die?
I thought Captain America was going to die.
Yeah, I was all on...
I was convinced.
I was all on Steve Rogers and Tony Stark dying.
And then he takes a punch in the face from Thanos. And just like, fuck off.
Dude, he snatched that gauntlet. He did not give a fuck.
No.
That was... Captain America, to me... Captain America and Thor were the two most badass human beings of that time.
When Thor comes back to Earth...
Thor is not a human being. He is a god.
You're right.
Oh, we'll get to that bit in a
I'm
little
not
bit.
even just talking about his arms and chest.
Oh, man. When he comes back...
Girlfriend!
When he comes back with Rocket and Groot and the original Avengers theme starts playing, you're just like, fuck yeah, let's go, let's fuck shit up. And they did fuck shit up.
You know, Jackie, Chris Hemsworth is number 2 on my gorgeous man list.
Oh, he does.
Behind only the great Channing Tatum.
Well, and she loves him because he's Australian.
He's an awesome. See, don't care for his brother. Anyone who marries
I don't
Miley
like his brother
Cyrus,
either.
we don't need that. We don't need that in our world.
In my world, his brother doesn't exist.
Yeah. What's his name? Larry?
Who cares?
Exactly.
William. So anyway,
Well, is he an Oasis?
great bit. That you bring up a great bit though. The bit of when he first meets the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Star-Lord starts to do his voice deeper to try and match. Because everybody's fawning over Thor now. Because why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Because Thor.
He's the second most gorgeous man on earth. Behind only Channing Tatum.
It's true. Oh my god.
Third is Ryan Reynolds. He's got a movie coming out next month, folks.
No, it was this month.
Is this month? Oh, it is.
Now
May.
that we're in May, yes, it's this
Excuse
month.
me, it is May. I forget.
It's like 2 weeks. You know, we should go see that at Alamo Drafthouse now that it's open.
At what?
Have you never heard of Alamo Drafthouse?
No.
So it's
Apparently not.
it's like a dine-in.
Is it
place.
a dinner? Is it a dinner movie place?
Yes,
So is it like Cine Bistro?
yes, but they are like super strict with their like no talking, no cell phones bullshit. Like they will come kick you out of a theater, which would have been great when we saw Infinity War with fucking 3-year-olds crying in the background. That was
See, I had a great one. I went at 11:40 on a Friday morning.
yeah. Nobody's gonna be there. That's gonna be a kid.
It was no kids in there.
Yeah.
But that place was still. It was 60% capacity in Greenville.
Did I tell you about the story of us trying to get tickets?
No.
Okay, so we as we mentioned, we went to go see Black Panther Saturday night. So we went to go
Because
grab
I
dinner.
told you had to watch Black Panther first.
and I'm glad we did.
Yes.
So we went to go grab dinner, and during dinner, I'm like, "Hey, let's just go ahead and get our tickets for tomorrow." Sounds like a good idea. So we start looking for like 3:00. Nothing except for front row tickets. And where we go, like the front row is like you're basically doing this the
You're
entire time.
breaking your neck.
Yeah, we did it for Guardians 2, and as much as we love that movie, that was not a great way to experience it. So we looked at 3. We looked at 2:30. We looked at 2. We looked at 1:30. We looked at 1. We looked at 11. We looked literally through everything. We're like, there's nothing with 2 seats beside each other. So we started going, well, God, can we...
Can we at least get one with 2 near each other?
No, first we started looking for like 12:30 that night.
And then
No,
see,
you started looking for that. That is
and then see if you could just get somebody to trade seats.
Yeah, so what we finally found was one at 1:15 with seats right behind each other on the end of the row. Thankfully, hers was in the handicap row, so the seat beside her was reserved for a handicap helper.
Which is obviously you.
Which
Clearly.
Mentally
and then
handicapped.
when are you saying she's the mentally handicapped one?
Not one bit. I just called you the mentally handicapped helper, didn't I?
Anyway, so nobody showed up, so I got to sit beside her. Yeah, that was hell.
Sweet.
That was hell though.
So cute.
Great. God,
I just realized that they can't see the faces that I make.
It's true.
No,
when
it's
I
all
do
good.
It's great audio podcast.
All right, so I
Plays
mean,
well.
just the beginning, the very
Loki's dead.
the very opening scene. I mean, they rip your heart out.
Yeah.
As Heimdall
Heimdall dies.
Yeah, I mean, so
is
Stringer
brutal.
Bell's dead.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's just like Omar killing him
Yeah.
back in the day. I hope I didn't spoil the wire for anybody.
Omar coming.
Omar coming.
And he's purple now.
Hey, it's like Thanos. You come to King, you best not miss.
Yeah.
They
job, Thor.
kill Heimdall. I think for once Loki is actually dead.
Yeah.
I don't think Loki ain't coming.
So sad.
I was devastated to lose Loki. Loki's like my favorite little devilish little demon child.
Best
Loki.
best villain we had until we got Killmonger?
Maybe just because of the thing with Loki is Loki would bring you back in like, okay, dude, we'll be you motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was Loki. You never knew what the hell Loki was gonna do.
His first, even though it's technically what's his face, guy who plays Odin, Anthony Hopkins. Technically, it's Anthony Hopkins at the beginning of Thor 3, who's impersonating Loki.
Right.
That was great. First of all, just Anthony Hopkins playing Tom Hiddleston playing Loki.
Right.
But yeah, Loki's just so good. Yeah, he's fucking dead. I think he's dead.
Well, and Thanos made the statement of, to paraphrase, you ain't bringing this one. He ain't coming back this time.
No resurrections.
No resurrections. That's
this
what he said.
Yeah.
So, I think Loki's
dead.
contract must have been up for Tom.
Some people said Valkyrie was in it.
See, I didn't see Valkyrie.
They said
Unless...
Do you remember from Thor 3?
Yeah.
You were Valkyrie the chick?
Yeah.
I didn't see her in this one.
Some people said she's right beside Heimdall. The actress who played her, though, came out and said, no, I wasn't in it. So Valkyrie...
I was going to say, I didn't remember seeing her.
Yeah. Now, see, and remember this. Thanos' whole deal is Thanos kills half of everyone. So he didn't completely wipe out Asgard. So I think we're going to get Valkyrie back somewhere. She's out there. She's got to be in that half that wasn't killed. Because if she had been killed, we would have at least seen her body or something. And there would have been a deal because she was too important a character from the third one. So I think she's still out there.
Yeah.
Now, when the snap happened, did she go away? That I don't know. But I think that would be a kind of a shitty way just to lose her without ever showing her.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming she's still out there somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So then we go to.
Oh Jesus, where we go next?
We went to Bruce Banner.
Oh well, that's right, because Hulk was up there. Because Hulk was still there from Ragnarok. And for one of the first and only times, we see Hulk get his ass absolutely handed to him.
Yeah.
Because Thanos a badass.
Which is interesting because in the comics, Hulk actually can handle Thanos pretty well.
Well, he did not.
He did not do it in the movies, though. No.
Heimdall's kind of last act was to open the Rainbow Bridge and get Hulk out of there. So Hulk went. So that takes us on to the next point where I think Dr. Stephen Strange was about to go out and get a sub.
Yeah. With his best friend Wong.
And he was going to get Wong a sandwich too, and all of a sudden a portal opens and from the Rainbow Bridge comes the Hulk. Or actually comes Bruce Banner.
Yeah, he comes crashing through into the New York Sanctum.
Yeah.
And
Hulk is a big baby.
Yeah, Hulk is a big baby. And Hulk doesn't come out anymore,
Someone
but we'll get to that.
doesn't like having his ass handed to him.
Oh, wait, let me throw this in here. And we'll obviously talk more Doctor Strange because he was massive in this movie. The one Marvel standalone movie I did not care for was Doctor Strange.
I just rewatched it last night, actually.
And maybe it was just me, but they were taking me so many different places on that. I'm like...
It's trippy.
I'm like, okay.
I would never advocate someone do drugs.
And try to watch Doctor Strange.
But if you didn't watch Doctor Strange, it would be the worst thing in the world.
That said, I thought in this movie he was spectacular. He was absolutely one of my favorite characters in this movie. So, you get him, and then basically Bruce Banner is just saying Thanos is coming. Yeah. And they're like, who the fuck's Thanos? Because Doctor Strange, I know Thanos is. And next thing you know, they go out, and they're Thanos' two of his people. I can't remember which ones they are. I read their names and figured it out.
I don't actually... there's only one name I actually remember the four of them. It's the Maw. Which I think is actually... His full name is Grey Maw.
Well, that might have been the big guy.
No, that's the one who tortures Doctor Strange.
Oh, okay. So he's... they proceed to... As usual... tear up part of New York City. Because, God, I tell you, every time I go to New York, it must be in between where it's been just totally demolished.
They do a great job
with you, Jackie. But, I'll tell you, those unions, man. The unions work.
Well, we saw in Spider-Man Homecoming how good they are at restoring everything when they're under government contract.
Oh, totally. So that brings...
Tony Stark.
Well, yes, and Tony Stark is there, and then... we bring in Spider-Man off the bus, and that's where those two kind of get together.
By the way, great job, great distraction from his friend When Peter Parker says, "Hey, dude, I need a distraction." Holy crap! There's a spaceship. We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
Oh, it's great.
The
movie's so good.
And just before everything starts going to shit, Tony Stark had pulled out that flip phone. And I heard people, why is he got a flip phone? He's Tony Stark. Do you not remember the end of Civil War, people? Steve Rogers sent him that phone. That was the burner to call Steve Rogers. That's the only phone.
The only number on there.
It's the only number on there. And then, he was reluctant to do it. Everything went to shit. And then at the end, Bruce Banner picks up the phone. And, God, I mean, I know we're kind of doing blow by blow the whole movie, and that's going to take forever. But eventually they end up in Scotland. Scotland? Ireland?
Scotland, yes, where with a Vision and
let's piss everybody off. Scotland, Ireland, they're all the same.
Basically the same accent.
Basically the same people, right? They both wear skirts, don't they? Not you, Andy Robertson. You're a proud Scot. You're the man.
Oh man. So yeah, we pick up with Wanda and Viz, as she likes to call him. Paul Bettany in full human gear.
God, it's like, wow, I didn't even have to put on shit today. This is great.
And then gets stabbed and apparently can't do anything else for the rest of the movie.
Pussy, he gets stabbed once. Jesus.
He's like,
see how many times Wolverine ever gets stabbed?
Dude, because I also just watched Civil War. Like, dude's so fucking strong. And he gets stabbed once. And it's like, well, I guess you're done for the movie. I guess so.
But then, of course...
because don't you remember he said that it stops him from phasing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured it meant it stopped him from phasing, then. And that he would heal and be fine. Apparently, he did not heal.
He does not have Wolverine healing.
No.
But at that point, they look like everything looks lost for our hero and heroine. And all of a sudden, here comes the great Captain America, Falcon, Black Widow. Was it just those three? Or was there one more?
By the way, can I tell you how disappointed I am that Hawkeye was not in it?
We were going to get to that. Because Ant-Man wasn't in it either.
Yes.
But they did throw the reason for those two not being in there.
I don't remember what the reason was for Hawkeye.
They said that they were, they had, since they would not, okay. The deal they took instead of signing the Accords was house arrest.
I thought that was only for Ant-Man.
I believe that was Hawkeye too.
Okay.
They were kind of throwing them both because they said Scott and Clint. And of course now the preview, the first trailer for Ant-Man and the Wasp is out, and it looks so good. So we're going to definitely get to see Scott in the next one. And
which when that takes place, chronologically,
we're going to have to kind of see where that takes place.
It's just really weird.
Because I don't know, is that going to be before or is it going to be after? It seems like it would be before, but then it seems like they would have showed up in this movie if it was before. So, I mean, literally, we're just going to have to go see it. I mean, unless we start reading some more shit about it, but we're just going to go see it and kind of see what happens there.
Yeah, that's going to be a little weird.
But anyway, then, so that brings back the Outlaw Avengers.
Yes.
The Outlaws!
Outlaw Country!
Outlaw. The New Age Outlaws. Yes. That's an old wrestling reference for you guys. That brings them back into the fold. Kind of gets everything moving on their end. And then, I guess we kind of didn't finish what happened with Tony Stark and Spider-Man.
They went to space!
They went to space with Dr. Strange.
And Spider-Man got a new suit. He got the suit that he was supposed to get the end of Homecoming.
That's right, but he was a little prick and wouldn't do what he was supposed to do. But, yeah, they end up in space and... eventually they free Doctor Strange, and they're heading toward Titan.
Yes, because Spider-Man knows movies. That's how they were able to free him.
Yes, he does.
You guys see this really old movie, Aliens?
Aliens. Shut up, kid. Oh my God! I mean, we've been talking about this for 15 minutes, and we're like 10 minutes into the movie. Jesus. I mean, there was just so much stuff that happened here, but that basically got us on to where we were working on two planes. We were on Earth. With one group, and then we were in outer space with another group, and there was a second group in outer space. They're called the fucking Guardians of the Galaxy.
Put your angry faces
on. And then the Guardians actually take a split. Well, about this time is when we got Thor.
They find Thor. As he crashes sort of into their ship.
Just runs into it. And then Star-Lord is completely jealous of which I don't blame him.
No, ever since Thor cut his hair,
And lost an eye.
Yeah, but he got one back.
He could get one back. But when Thor starts talking about he knows where a weapon can be made to beat Thanos, that of course perks Rocket's attention because Rocket is such a pro Second Amendment guy. It is not funny. Rocket is completely pro 2A.
There is a very good Rocket moment in the last fight that I just love, but we'll get to that.
Oh, Rocket belongs in North Carolina is all I can say. He belongs in Macclesfield with me. He's shooting guns.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, my wife wouldn't mind that at all either. So, Rocket and Groot, who now is an insolent teenager and acts literally just like my 13-year-old, all the way to not responding to you when you openly talk to him and makes you want to backhand his ass. Oh, God, with him it's the phone. But yeah, video game, close enough. Video game phone. They go off to... Do you remember the planet?
Nope.
Good. It wasn't Nope, was it?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't nowhere. It was.
Yeah, that was another planet. Yeah. Wait a minute.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember it. It
was a star.
It's the Dead Star with Peter Dinklage.
Yes, a giant Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage was bigger than Andre the Giant in this. If that just
I turned to her and I'm like, he first comes on screen. I'm like, is that Peter Dinklage?
Yes, it is.
Okay then. Yeah, good job. Good performance by him. He's now been in both X-Men and Marvel movies.
But they head that way, and the rest of the group heads toward nowhere. Actually,
yeah, nowhere.
They're going to nowhere to try to save the stone from the Collector.
Yes.
When they get there, Gamora has a face-off with Thanos, which then turns out to be looks like she actually kills Thanos, and then that turns out to be an illusion.
Yes.
It's like Chris Angel or David Copperfield would do an illusion, right, Joe Bluth?
Oh, we should have mentioned that in Watch 4, but we can.
We might do that next week.
Yeah.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
And then we find out that he has the stone, the Infinity Stone from that planet, which is the one that alters reality. And he had shown her a false reality. At that point, he actually takes her. And just to throw back real quick, she had made Peter Quill promise her that if anything was going to happen and Thanos was taking her, that he would promise to kill her because she knew some information that he needed, and she was the only one who knew it. And it was a really tense moment, and Quills did exactly what she asked.
Yeah.
But the reality stone, Thanos actually turned the gun into a bubble gun.
Yes.
So he pulled the trigger. It was so...
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's gonna kill... motherfucker, he gave her a bubble gun. And then Thanos takes her off, and do we want to follow that storyline?
We may as well right now.
We can. So they go back to Titan.
Right.
And now he can warp basically wherever he wants because he has a space jet.
Right.
And he goes back to Titan with her. We find that he is he makes an impassioned plea to her in front of his throne. Tries to tell her, I hoped you would be sitting up here one day, which is kind of weird. I don't think it's bullshit. I think he genuinely seems to care about her, which I don't understand.
Yeah, he does, but I think he also has a very convoluted way of it.
He has a convoluted way of a lot of things. And then we see him go into a room where Nebula is being tortured really bad. And in what I think is pretty interesting, Gamora decides to save Nebula.
Yeah.
Which, again, I think is fairly interesting because even though they did sort of kind of patch it up a little bit in Guardians 2, I'm a little surprised that someone who would have promised Peter Quill to kill her for that information, that she would then
save someone else
Yeah.
by giving him that information.
That was a little interesting.
Well,
and
I don't know. It doesn't really strike me as that out of character for her because it was clear in the other movie that she really did care about Nebula, and so I really don't think it's a whole lot easier for you to sacrifice yourself than to sacrifice someone else. So I think the connection that she has with Nebula,
which is a big theme of the movie.
Yeah, sacrifice is a complete theme of the movie.
Yeah.
I agree with you. That's
so
a
I
good
don't really
thought,
think it's
actually.
that out of character.
That's fair.
Right.
But she does end up giving away the information of the location of the Soul Stone, which is where they need to go next. So Thanos leaves with Gamora to the Soul Stone planet, which I don't remember.
But that doesn't matter because we get the greatest drop-in of the entire movie, where I actually said out loud, "Holy shit, it's Red Skull!"
Yeah.
So did he.
Yeah. Because look, because I told her this after. Hugo Weaving has been very opposed to ever playing Red Skull again.
That wasn't him.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
But that's why I was never expecting
Uh-huh.
to see Red Skull ever again. So to see him just all of a sudden pop up was like...
You know who it was?
Somebody from The Walking Dead.
It's Aaron from The Walking Dead.
Yeah, there you go. So that was super weird. Did a great job.
See, I didn't know the whole Hugo Weaving refused to play this. I was just like, damn, they got Homeboy back out.
Yeah.
Badass.
So that was really cool. So he takes Thanos and Gamora up to...
The cliff.
Yeah, the cliff, the where the Eye of Mordor is. And yeah, you got that joke. You don't, because you probably never watched Lord of the Rings.
Nope.
That's fine. And then I will say this.
This is as nerdy as I get. So.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And then it basically becomes Thanos realizes he will now have to offer a sacrifice of Gamora for the Soul Stone, because as the Red Skull tells him, it is you must sacrifice a soul to get the soul.
And it came to a moment where they said, you must sacrifice a soul. It's someone that you love. And Gamora makes a comment like, you don't love anybody. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like this realization goes over, he loves you.
Well, and what cracked me up was that she didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Like, she was completely oblivious. And I feel like it was so obvious to everyone else.
Well,
it's obvious. I think everybody else is like,
but you have to go back and think how she's thinking. She was tortured. She was abused. She was made to fight against her sister the whole time growing up. She hates Thanos. The way she was treated, she can't believe that she wasn't.
But in Thanos' sick, twisted mind, I mean, he always treated her as the favorite. Like, she was always the favorite.
Especially once you see the flashback.
There was always something special about her, and there was a connection there.
Well, like he said, especially when you see the flashback and see her as a child, and which was kind of weird, but it was good.
Yeah, and I swear to God, there was like half a second when he started looking really sad, and with the comment he had made earlier about the throne, there was a half second I thought he was going to ask her to push him off and take everything.
And that was part of what made this movie so good. There were all of these moments where it was like, you had an idea what was going to happen, but then you're like, they gave you just enough in that movie to be like, but this could happen. Yeah. I mean, that's why I just really, really enjoyed this movie so much. Yeah. But then he ends up, pushing her off, and then he kind of wakes up down in the water and opens his hand, and there it is.
So we did it with Loki. Is Gamora dead?
I don't see how she's not.
Something maybe with the very last scene, which we'll get to.
I have a whole different theory for all.
There is a way now, from what I understand from the comic book. There's a simple way to fix all of this. Yeah. Does Marvel want to go the simple route?
I don't think they will.
And truly, to me, I think if they did it in a movie, I think people would be sitting there like, what the fuck did I just sit through 2.5 hours of this? If all they got to do is just reverse time.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do that.
I don't think they'll do that. That's what they did in the comic book. At which point, sure, Gamora's back. Everybody's back because, hey, everything's great now. Yeah. We just went back. We got Doc Brown's time machine and went back 2 days.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
I do wonder if maybe they bring back like a young Gamora because of how you see her at the end. Maybe that. True.
And that's the thing. There are ways around just the easy solution to do things because you do have all these stones now. Someone can do something here. But the way this is, with the way the end of the movie goes, she hit the ground and splatted.
Yeah.
Loki,
she died.
Loki dead. She dead.
Yeah.
Heimdall, they dead.
Yeah.
They good and dead. They're real dead.
I would not be totally surprised if Gamora's just dead.
Now, apparently, there is supposed to be a third Guardians movie coming out, and it would be weird to do it without Gamora. But
it also would be interesting to see Peter Quill, who is noted jokester Peter Quill, having to get over the love of his life.
Oh yeah,
and it would be interesting. But so we go from there. I think we go now. Thor at the same time has made his weapon by basically opening the door to a sun and getting blasted with it for a couple minutes.
Yeah, he got torn to fuck.
And then Groot finally doing something and chopping off his arm to make the handle of the axe.
Oh, great.
Stormbreaker?
I think it was Stormbreaker. Yeah, that's what we're going to go with.
Okay. Great, cool, very cool weapon. Awesome. And so they take it, and that allows them, Rocket and Groot and Thor, to head back to Earth, where now the Outlaw Avengers are fighting.
Well, now we've got to stop with that little part of there, because we got to get back to what's going on Titan.
Sure,
now,
we can do that.
Because we got to get this time stone thing taken care of.
Yes.
Basically, the Guardians. The subset of the Guardians.
Yes. Star-Lord,
Drax, and Mantis.
Yes.
They were on Titan, where they met some new friends. They met Iron Man. They met
Who is Gamora?
Who is Gamora?
I will do you one better. Why is Gamora?
I'm gonna tell you, man. Drax is one of my absolute favorites.
Dave Bautista is like perfect for this guy.
Exactly, because he's just this gigantic musclehead who says the wrong thing at every time.
That's great.
Have you seen the commercial for the little phone game they got?
No.
Well, it's some Avengers game, and Drax is in it, but it's coming from the viewpoint of like just a regular soldier on the plane, and he's like, "I'm here to save my people. I'm here to do all this," and he runs off the plane. As soon as he runs out of the back of the plane, he gets shot. And there's Drax in there. He should not have gone first.
Oh man,
Drax. But Drax has his shit. So they're up there, and this is where we get that little back and forth between Iron Man and Peter Quill. Okay, you got a plan? Tell you what, how about we do my plan so it doesn't suck?
Yeah.
The paraphrase. Well, while they're down there arguing over who's got a bigger ding-dong at the time.
Also, we should mention Peter Quill does not know Gamora's dead.
Exactly, yeah, doesn't know she's dead. Well, while Stark and Peter trying to decide who has the bigger ding-dong down there, you see Stephen Strange up here by himself, and all of a sudden he starts shaking uncontrollably. And they're like, "Man, what happened?" And he said, I've been in the future and I've seen the outcome. He said, I went through 14 million outcomes.
605.
Yeah, 14,605 outcomes. Well, how many of them do we win? One. Yes. Oh, shit.
Well, that's not great.
And trust me, much more dramatic than the way we just did it. Well, I said Stephen Strange, amazing in this movie.
Benedict Cumbersnatch.
Oh my god.
Knocked it out of the park in this one.
He took that character and made it his bitch in this. So good. So you're sitting there, oh my god. So they come up with a plan, and basically the plan is to incapacitate Thanos enough that they can get the gauntlet off his hand. Because if you get the gauntlet off, there goes the power of the stones in Thanos' hand. Everything is working. Everything's going right.
Mantis has put him into a semi-sleep.
Mantis has him in a trance. Everything is working. I believe it's Iron Man and Drax were working on getting the thing off his arm. Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man. And Iron Man and Spider-Man are getting it off his arm. Everything's kind of, and I think Drax had a hold of him, just holding him down. And then he just starts talking. And he's not, I don't think he's not taunting Quill by any means. He's just
Mantis starts talking.
Right. Mantis had the vision and saw what was happening. And that's when Peter finds out that Gamora's dead.
Nebula
he killed Gamora.
Is the one who tells him, because Nebula shows up.
That's right. And tells him basically what they were going to do. Yeah.
And says, isn't it obvious he went to go? He has the Soul Stone. He came back, and Gamora did not. Yeah. So then it registers in Quill's head that Gamora.
And then Tony starts panicking. Because he's like, oh shit, no. Just give us like 30 seconds, dude. Come on.
Exactly. But Quill, and the great thing about Peter Quill, the thing we love about that character is kind of his, how he goes with the flow. He does his thing. And all of a sudden you see this side of him that really we hadn't seen in 2 episodes of Guardians. You see just this rage come out of him.
We did see it. There was 1 second I thought we saw it in Guardians 2 when when he finds out Ego kills his mom,
right,
and then he just immediately pulls his gun on him,
right,
and you're like, okay.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Those are, you take his mom
Similar
and
moment.
then Gamora. They're the two most important people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the loves of his life.
Mm-hmm.
As you said earlier, Gamora, also his mother. They were the loves of his life, and he can't handle it.
Yeah.
And I mean, everything is working, and then Quill snaps.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Did he hit him? Did he?
He
stab
hits him, and he knocks him out of the trance.
Because he knocks Manus off.
Yeah.
And then they lose it, and.
And he does. I mean, Spider-Man does get the glove off, but immediately Thanos just snatches it back.
Yeah.
Like.
So I mean, right there, it was such an important part of the movie. It was such a gut-wrenching moment of the movie. Oh my God, they were so close to everything.
Also, great fight scene. The way everybody's doing, the way Spider-Man is like portal jumping.
Oh, yeah.
Doctor Strange like throwing out platforms for Quill to like jump on.
Right.
Oh my
So
God!
cool.
And Spider-Man cracked me up as he's going, magic sleep, magic punch, magic kick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great. And like I said, really, Stephen Strange's role just so expanded in this movie. And he was doing so many things. I really enjoyed him. But then we get to a part where, after this happens, everything goes to shit for our heroes. And it looks like the end of Tony Stark.
Yeah. Tony Stark gets stabbed. Thanos, who has a lot of respect for him.
Yeah.
For fighting him.
And well, a real interesting part was when they got there, he said, "Oh, you're Tony Stark." He said, "How do you know?" He said, "Much like you, paraphrasing once again, much like you, I keep up with things, something like that." But
they've been having visions of each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've been having the visions ever since the first Avengers movie. So, but it was at that point. So I said, I predicted Tony Stark dies in this movie. So I'm like, shit, I was right.
Yep, there it is.
And here's Stark dying, exactly.
Yep.
And then Doctor Strange is there, and he's basically makes a deal.
And by the way,
go ahead.
I was going to say, and this is the way you know that this becomes all sort of part of the plan is Doctor Strange, who had earlier in the movie said to both Tony Stark and Spider-Man, "I will not hesitate to let either of you die to protect the Time Stone."
That's right. That's right.
And now he's just like, "Look, if you want it, just take it. Just leave us alone."
That's right. And of course Tony Stark. And if you're not thinking on that line of everything, which I wasn't at that
or
time,
if you just got stabbed,
but I mean, I'm saying as an audience, I'm sitting there, I'm all emotional. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? But then he makes the comment. He said it was the only way.
Yeah.
And when you think about it, later you're sitting there like, well, there was one way to win. This must have been it.
Also, great job by the Russo brothers and whoever the writers were to not fucking spoon feed that. To not just have Doctor Strange come out and say, "This is the one way."
Right.
To just say it like that and have a little bit of subtlety to it. I really like that.
Well, wasn't it in that scene too where Stark turns and says like, "What are we gonna do now?" Or like, "What now?" And then Doctor Strange goes, "Well, now the fun begins."
No. Now he says, "Now we're in the end game."
That's right. He said, "Now we're in the end game." That was it. That was it. I mean, just so many.
That's
of these
after Thanos warps out to Earth.
Right, so many of these lines just peppered in there that were so fucking good, man. I mean, just so many little lines in there.
Well, because I tell you, I did not catch on the fact that he just gave the time stone away to save Tony's life. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like,
that's all I was thinking.
What is he doing? And then as soon as he said, "Now we're in the end game," I was like, oh shit, this is all part of the plan.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is, he was the only one. I think Strange was the only one who knew the plan.
Yeah.
Because if he had told the other ones that, they would have been like, "No way, no man, we can't do that." So I think he gave them an idea, but he
told them how to strap down Thanos.
Exactly.
And then I also think he realized that Tony has to be alive.
Right.
To eventually stop Thanos.
Right.
And so he does that. So now Thanos warps to Wakanda with 5 of the 6 stones, and Wakanda's happening.
Right, and let's hit that real quick. Basically, that's where the Outlaws...
Yes.
We're just calling the Outlaws now.
The Outlaws.
The Outlaws had taken Vision because they were like, who can help him? And, of course, Captain America's like, I know a guy.
Well, by help him, I mean, we haven't really discussed what their plan was to do.
Right.
It was to
Their plan was to take the stone out of him without... separating him, the conscious him from the stone.
Because as it was pointed out, Vision is actually 5 different things.
Yes.
It's Tony and Bruce. It's Jarvis.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Ultron.
Mm-hmm. And the stone.
Yes.
Right.
So, they kind of have this idea, well, if we just take the stone out, he'll still be, he'd still be our buddy.
Yeah. And so they take him to Shuri, who is
that's
T'Challa's
sister.
Yep,
right?
and she's back.
Who she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you just love her?
Her with the gauntlets is great.
I mean, her just her. I cannot wait for her and Tony to have
also
some kind of a conversation.
One of the great moments in Black Panther is when she's showing him the new suit, and she's like, "Okay, so hit it. Good job. Yeah. Oh, why are you filming this? Oh, it's just for research purposes.
For research. Hit it again.
Hit it again.
In the same spot.
Delete that footage." Great moment. But yeah, so they take Vision to Wakanda because Wakanda's already done a solid for Captain America with the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes.
Fucking Winter Soldier, as I like to call him.
Yes, he's back. They've got him
Bucky Barnes
as Rocket really wants that arm.
First he wants the gun, then he wants the arm.
I'm gonna get
Once
that
again,
arm.
Rocket, you are coming to living with me, buddy. You can live in the pen with the pig.
So they are getting fought on by the remaining.
Basically,
Order.
Thanos' army at that point.
Yeah. And so they have to repel the fight as long as they can and hold them off to not get to Vision. There's a lot of fighting. Every one of the remaining members of the Order dies in this fight. The lady gets hit by one of the rotating things and gets a little blood on Black Widow, which was gross, as she said. Big strong dude gets thrown up into the Wakandan dome and just, I guess through friction, basically explodes. And then the last dude gets stabbed by the Vision.
Right.
After he's about to attack Steve Rogers.
It was a really interesting way that they went about that battle because, of course, Wakanda has this kind of force field all around it. But they realized they got to a point where the force field would give. And instead of letting them surround them and come around them, they basically bottlenecked them through, which I doubt this had anything to really do with it. But if you want to look at another movie in pop culture, 300, the Battle of Thermopylae, in ancient Greece, ancient Sparta, that was kind of what they did was 300 Spartans versus the massive Persian Empire was they bottlenecked them and they funneled them. So it wasn't everybody coming forward. Yeah. It was just, as you bottleneck them, hey, it's a lot easier to kill 100 of them at a time than 1,000 of them trying to come through.
Great call by T'Challa there. So, also, real cool to go back to Black Panther, even though this ties in. The soldier shields from their cloaks, so cool. So that was really cool. War Machine and Falcon are in the sky, throwing down bombs, killing them that way.
Right.
Black Widow and the leader of the Dorjima.
I cannot remember her name, but she's like the general.
Yeah, they're fighting.
She's badass as hell.
They're doing great. What's up, Mittens?
Hey, Mittens.
So what did you think of Infinity War? She's a rabbit, just like Rocket.
I love that. That was a great run. Come on, rabbit. But also that we talked about a little earlier, we teased it. Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Who cannot turn into Hulk.
Hulk does not come out. Bruce Banner finally wants.
Big baby.
Yeah, he finally wants the Hulk to come out, and Hulk's like, no.
Hulk was like, no. But they give him like a giant.
They give him the Hulkbuster armor from
Ultron.
Ultron.
They give him Hulkbuster, exactly.
Which
so
is essentially just like a jacked up Iron Man.
Yeah, it's an old Iron Man.
Well, and that's why it's because it was
Stark invaded, I think.
It was built in case they needed to take down the Hulk. So that's why it's called a Hulkbuster. Right. So now it's weird that Bruce Banner, who cannot transform into the Hulk, is riding the Hulkbuster. Really cool.
But yeah, I mean, and I think I made the comment sitting in the movie theater myself. I was like, wow, I sat through an entire season of The Walking Dead waiting for the war. Yeah. I was like, I'm getting the fucking war right here. This was awesome. I mean, that was an absolute magnificent fight. We get to the end, and it looks like our hardy heroes have done it.
Yes, all the Order are dead. Thanos comes, but Wanda holds him off while she has to tearfully.
And real quick, we said earlier and then forgot to mention it here while everybody's killing everybody. Thor shows up.
Yeah, and
with
is a badass.
With the axe. Well, of course, because he's Thor. He's the most badass.
And it's just lightning
entity
everybody
everywhere. I mean, there's lightning everywhere. There's sweet death.
Oh, and then Rocket, when he mentions about the gun, they do one of the coolest things ever, which I feel is they call back to Guardians 1 when Winter Soldier picks him up, and so he has his gun going, and Rocket is basically his other arm as a gun, and they're both like just spinning around shooting everybody, and Rocket's going nuts. I love that moment.
Rocket's loving it. Bucky's loving it. I'm such a Winter Soldier mark, by the way. You understand. You didn't ask my kids how much I love Winter Soldier.
Sebastian Stan does a great Winter Soldier.
Oh, God, he's so good. He is the Bucky Barnes.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking Winter Soldier.
So we've done this, and we're Thanos still arrives. He's starting to kind of punch down people, but Scarlet Witch comes in.
For a second, because we have not discussed at all the relationship between Wanda and Vision.
That's
and
true.
How,
You're right.
I mean, there's a relationship going on, and they talk about splitting their ways, and now all of a sudden, because Thanos is looking for the stones, like now, and they get attacked as they're trying to leave their rendezvous. Now they're like stuck together. So
and we see it when they're in Scotland. We see that they are together. It's implied a little bit, going even back to Civil War, that there is something between them. But this is like,
hey, we're in a relationship. It's like we're in a relationship because she wanted him not to go back.
Yeah,
she's like, look, let's just run off together. Yeah. You know, I love that Vision loving that you give me.
Mm-hmm. Especially when he's Paul Bettany.
Whatever you do with that stone is just magnificent.
Hey. So she now has to, just like Peter Quill had to do almost with Gamora. It's another, and Thanos had to do with Gamora. It's all about sacrifice. And she says, okay, now I have to sacrifice. We've run out of time.
Well, because they fought against it for so long, because Vision said to do that in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. And they almost got, Shuri almost got it out, but she just didn't have enough time.
Right.
So now it's, okay, I'm going to destroy it, and while I'm also holding back Thanos. That's, Scarlet Witch is fucking OP almost. So she's holding back Thanos with her magic. She's destroying Vision's stone. And finally, it breaks. And you're like, oh, wow. Oh, that's it. They have almost kind of won. Now they just have to kill Thanos. And everything's fine. And then it's, oh, but Thanos has the time stone. And he can just rewind time.
Right.
And then he ends up literally ripping the stone out of Vision's head.
He does.
Vision is as dead as an android thing can be at this point. And then Thanos gets every stone.
What I thought was so interesting, like when they destroyed the stone, when Scarlet Witch destroyed the stone, he basically exploded and evaporated into nothingness. And when Thanos ripped it out of his head the second go around,
it's just like part of his skull.
His corpse, it looked like a corpse had changed color.
Yeah.
Because then he was
gray.
all gray.
Yeah, that was rough.
It
That was rough. Especially after you think, like, oh, we kind of won.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we didn't. And so Thanos rips it out of him.
And then comes the moment where, when all hope is lost, holy shit, we've still got a chance. Because here comes motherfucking Thor.
Dude, I thought he was going to do it.
I thought he had done it. I was like, oh my God, he did it. But then, okay, so anyway, Thor suddenly comes from the sky with that big badass Stormbuster, we're calling it, and drills the shit out of Thanos right into his chest. And you're like, oh my God, this is going to work out. And then Thanos utters the words, you should have gone for the head.
Yeah. Or the arm! Cut off his fucking arm!
Cut off his hand. Just cut off his hand. And then as he's standing there, Thanos goes up with the gauntlet, snaps his finger, and then suddenly, like, Thanos is gone. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? And even at that point, I'm sitting there, I'm like...
Well, and then because it cuts to the dream realm, or the soul realm, where he sees baby Gamora again.
Right.
And she asks him, is this what you wanted, I think?
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, I'm like...
And was it worth it?
Yeah, was it worth it? And I'm sitting here, I'm like, so what the hell's going on here? And then they go back to our regular
Thor's
time.
Like, what did you do?
Yeah, Thor's like, what did you do? What did you do? And we're just sitting here, and then all of a sudden, it's kind of just panning around everybody. And all of a sudden, Bucky Barnes just starts evaporating. Yeah. I think he was the first one, right? It was Winter Soldier.
Yeah. Yes.
And I was like, whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah. And he evaporates. And then, everything went
to Falcon.
And
then T'Challa.
Yeah, I think that was the shocker to everybody. It was like, whoa. At that point, it was like, okay, anybody is fair game at this point. Because you just took out Black Panther, who, just made you $750 billion. Yeah. It's like, hold on, now you killed Black Panther? What the hell's going on here?
And then it goes to Titan, where we lose
everybody on
the three main Guardians.
We lost. Well, first we lost.
We also lost Groot.
Mantis.
Lost who?
Groot.
Oh yeah.
Rocket has to say goodbye to Groot a fucking again.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's terrible. But we lost. I think it was the order. It went Mantis, Drax. Then I think it went Spider-Man.
No.
Spider-Man was last.
Yeah.
I thought Strange was last.
It was Stark and Spider-Man who were last. I think
Strange
came.
Yeah, no, it went Peter Quill.
Then it went Quill.
Oh, yeah.
And then
it went Strange.
And Strange said something I've forgotten.
Strange said something right then. And then it was because Spider-Man had that really emotional one because he was just terrified.
Yeah. See, I thought that was the moment before he disappeared like that he said it was the only way.
You might be right, actually.
That might have been it when he said that. Because earlier he said it's the end game.
Yes.
Right.
And this time he said it was the only way.
This was the only way. Poof. Yeah. And then it's Spider-Man. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
And that was rough because...
the last thing he's saying is, I'm sorry.
Well, and the thing with Spider-Man, and not to take anything away and say Spider-Man's a pussy by any means, but, everybody else is kind of going out like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man, we got to think about, he's a kid.
Yeah.
He's a fucking kid. He's a damn high school kid. Of course he's going to be fucking terrified. He's not ready to die. He never thought about his own mortality.
He's just seen everybody.
Yeah, and he see all this happen.
Yeah.
What? And, I mean, he's like us. He's like, what the hell?
I thought when Thanos had snapped, I didn't think we were going to get all that. I thought it was just going to be snap,
and
half of everybody's gone.
Yeah.
And they're just going to start looking around like...
they say throughout, I mean, like, they led up to that so much, like, if he gets all 5 stones, all he has to do is snap, and half the population is wiped out. Mm-hmm. And they say it a good 5 times before you get to the end. So as soon as he snapped, I didn't expect to see the dream realm at all.
Right.
I literally just expected people to just start dropping.
Also, we haven't actually talked about why Thanos does this.
And I thought, we'll hit that and say, I was thinking people would just drop, not just disintegrate.
I thought when he snapped, that was it, and they were just gone, and we wouldn't see anything. Like they would just come back, and Buck and Steve Rogers would be like, "Where's Bucky?
Where's Groot?
He was literally just right here.
Where the fuck's Black Panther? This is his house." But go ahead and tell them
Thanos,
what Thanos' whole
different
deal
than
is.
in the comics. In the comics, he basically does it to impress Death, who is a woman in the Marvel universe.
What a bitch.
In this one, it's because when he was on his home planet Titan, he saw that overpopulation and a finite amount of resources would lead to eventually his world's destruction. Everybody ignored him, and then the world was destroyed.
Well, because he had brought up the fact that if you had taken out half of the population and made it an even thing where you took out both rich and poor alike, that it would balance everything out and you could sustain.
Right.
And people laughed at him and scoffed at him and everything like that.
Which, the thing is, that's actually... I don't think it's a serious issue that argument that anybody's brought up in the real world, but there have been people who have said that before, that, you know what, a good plague wouldn't be the worst thing to happen because, the rate of multiplication in the world right now, there is kind of that thought.
The only flaw in his theory is birth rate doesn't end, though, when you do this.
Right.
Like, eventually we're just going to get back to this point.
Well, and I mean, he doesn't come off as it being, like, a one-time end-all, be-all. It's that's what you have to do in order to sustain throughout a certain amount of time. And so he talks about how he had this idea, and he brought it up on his home planet, and basically all the elders and everyone scoffed at him and told him he was crazy, and so he left it alone and let things run its course, and his home planet basically got wiped out because
it couldn't sustain. Exactly, it couldn't sustain everyone.
And so because of that, he didn't want to see that happen again, and so he has this very...
Yeah.
I mean,
it's very understandable. It's fucked up, but it's understandable.
But too, that's something that we kind of learn with Thanos is, we have this original vision that Thanos is all straight up evil and just as horrible, and he's just killing to kill. Thanos is actually humanized in this movie and multiple times.
This is a Thanos movie.
Yeah, really.
He's kind of the main character.
He really is, because everything revolves around him when you think about it. But, when he told us the reason, the moments with Gamora, there were moments in this movie where Thanos is like, it's like he's got a fucked up worldview of it, but Thanos isn't really. He's certainly not as big of an asshole as many of the others.
He's not like the first guy from Guardians.
When you get the flashback to when he meets Gamora as a child, because he's been telling her throughout a bunch of different spots in the movies, in her memories and things like that, I saved you.
Yeah.
And you don't understand how he saved her until that flashback,
right? And
where you realize that where she gets pulled from is the half of the population that gets killed. Her, her mother included. So, he really did actually save her. Yeah. But it's because he's a logical, psychotic being.
Yeah, he's a psychopath. Yeah. You're right on that. But, it actually makes him a little... He has moments where he's sympathetic in the movie.
Yeah.
Which, as you were talking about earlier, Ronan the Accuser, in the first Guardians, it's like, kill this motherfucker now. He needs to go the hell away. Yeah. Guys in these other movies, you need, Red Skull, get rid of this son of a bitch.
Literal Nazi.
Yes, literal Nazi. They make Hitler look tame, these guys. But,
well, that's the thing with Thanos. He's kind of Hitler. But they actually make him be a sympathetic figure. His
reason is not because he hates a certain culture.
Right.
He doesn't hate these people because he also makes a point of saying, it's not like we just kill the poor.
Right. Yeah.
Because a movie me and the boy just happened. We watched The Purge Independence Day the other day.
Of course you did.
Well, he likes the Purge movies, so we watched the third Purge. With the Purge, it's all about, hey, the rich get over on the poor, we get rid of the poor, and the rich can, live without having to. With this, it's like, no discrimination. It's like you can be the king, or you can be the smallest peasant.
And it's literally an unbiased, logical thought process.
Yeah.
It's very logical.
Make them any less psychopathic.
No. But it's not like you're making a list like, you get to live, you get to live, you gotta die. So
the only choice he's ever made is saving Gamora.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is interesting. We talk about how logical and random it is. It is rather interesting, isn't it, that the ones we're left with are the OG Avengers.
That's right.
It's Thor. It's Bruce Banner. It's Tony Stark.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
It's Black Widow.
It's Black Widow.
It's Captain America.
It's Captain America. It's assumedly Hawkeye, because I don't think they would have just wiped him off screen.
No. Yeah, Hawkeye's going to be back.
So it's the sixth. It's the sixth from the poster.
You guess Ant-Man. Well, but you're right. And I thought about that going, because, the whole thing we've been hearing about outside of the movie, trying to be the little sleuth that we all are, was, Hemsworth's contract's up and Tony's contracts, all these contracts are up. That was why I was sitting there thinking, I thought we were going to lose 3 Avengers.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to lose Thor. I thought we were going to lose Iron Man. I thought we were going to lose Captain America.
You might have to wait a year, but then it might happen.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's an early fan theory of the next one coming up is, well, how are you going to bring these second generation Avengers back? Because you got to bring back the Guardians. Yeah. You got to bring back Black Panther.
Yes.
You probably bring back Winter Soldier. You'll probably bring these people back.
Got to bring back Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, there's another Spider-Man movie coming. There's supposed to be another Doctor Strange movie. You got to bring him back. And the way, just a fan theory, and it sort of makes sense because it would kind of complete everything, is that they find a way, the OGs find a way to sacrifice themselves to bring back the other ones, which would make some sense. But, if you went down the cast of Avengers and were like, all right, the day before you saw the movie, all right, make a list of who you think is going to be. Put a check mark beside who you think is going to die. I do not think most of those who die you would have had a check mark by. And that was just, and that's what, basically that's the end of the movie is that happening. And the last scene is Thanos, because Thanos had said earlier in the movie, well, what are you going to do after you do it? He said, I'm just going to sit back and, relax.
And he does.
And that's what you see. Thanos goes and sits down, watches sunrise, and
with a what looks like a broken or damaged Infinity Gauntlet.
Very damaged gauntlet.
Yeah.
That came,
who knew wiping out half the universe would take a lot out of it? Who knew?
But that's kind of our last scene, and that's why, we're all sitting in the movie theater. I don't know, y'all's now, obviously, y'all said there were children in there. In my movie theater,
quiet during the credits.
You could have heard a pin drop. So everybody's just like, I was sitting there like.
Also, great choice by them.
When those credits start, like when that end, I was like,
wait a minute.
Really it?
Great choice by them.
They're ending this?
And this maybe comes from my sort of production background a little bit, and I notice things like this. The normal Marvel credits are usually very colorful, very energetic. This was text. White, plain font, white text, black background, that's it.
You know what else I liked about it?
What's that?
It always says at the end, the Avengers will be back.
Yeah, no.
This said,
Thanos will return.
Will return.
Yeah.
So then, of course, it's a Marvel movie. So we're going to have, this time they made us sit through like 9 minutes of fucking credits.
And I got really nervous because they always have the two scenes.
Right. They always
and
have
as
the
you went through the first, quick credits before they get to that scene, then it was just black. And I was like, oh my God, credits are going again? Are they really not giving us a scene? And I was like, oh my God, I don't know.
And then they
I knew there was going to be a scene because one of my friends I work with had actually gone to see it on Thursday night when it opened. And he had said, make sure you stay, there is a post scene. I was like, okay. He said, it's all the way at the end. I was like, all right.
Well, and we always wait until the end.
Yeah,
There's always two. There's always two. There's the one that's directly related to the first movie, and then there's one that is
set up.
Like showing what's going to happen in 6 years.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Howard the Duck, by the way. But of course, at the end of Guardians 2, that's where we got what's his name, Adam
Warlock.
That's it. Obviously that's coming somewhere. But then we get to, so we've been gutted for 2.5 hours. We're all sitting here. Oh my God, all our heroes are gone. And then we get to the post-credit scene. Holy shit, motherfucking Nick Fury. Here we go. So it's Nick Fury and it's
Maria
Hill, and they're driving, and you can tell at that point everything's starting. Thanos has just done it because all of a sudden you got cars wrecking, you got a helicopter crashing. He said he was saying, we got a lot of activity going on in Wakanda. He makes the comment, "Get Clint on the phone." So there's your second little. Yeah, you get a little Clint throw in there. So they're starting to get Clint on the phone. All of a sudden they have the wreck. They get out. There's no driver, and now they're really freaking the fuck out. He takes off. Maria goes, and he gets this old fucking looking pager. And the last thing we see Nick Fury do before he disintegrates away is he gets a message off. Almost gets to say motherfucker on the way out, which I was really hoping for. And then we're left, it's like it's showing the pager, sending. And all of a sudden we just see this logo. I didn't know what the logo was.
It took me about 20 seconds. And then I figured it out.
I had to go get on Wikipedia because I knew somebody on Wikipedia would tell me what the hell it was. But that was our preview.
Brie Larson's coming, baby. Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel's scheduled to come out next February, I think. And then the next Avengers movie, I believe, is supposed to come out that June.
Yes.
But here's the thing: the Captain Marvel movie coming up is going to be set in the 90s.
Yes.
So we're going to get her whole backstory. Apparently, she was an Air Force pilot,
and Nick Fury will be in it. Right,
Nick Fury will be in it because hey, this is way before all this shit. So we should expect to see her in the. I think we're just going to call it the Avengers Assault.
Sure.
Because I want to call everything Assault.
I know you do.
It's just how I roll. But we should be seeing her coming up. As we mentioned, we do have Ant-Man and Wasp. And then
we'll have to figure out when the hell that takes place.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out when we go in. But I mean, God, we're left with so many questions.
We don't know what the next Avengers is actually called yet.
No, they have not named it.
Because it was initially Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2. And then they changed it to just Infinity War, and then fourth Avengers movie.
Right.
And so we still don't know what it's called. They said they're going to give it a few months.
That's fine.
For everybody to go see it, and then they're going to name it.
And another thing, they're not going to do a Comic-Con thing this year.
No.
Which apparently they've always done in the past. They are not doing it because, I'm going to tell you, they are putting a damn lid on this thing. This is going to be like This is like their equivalent of the Walking Dead cliffhanger over who the fuck did he just bash their brains in. This would be equivalent. I don't think much of anything's going to get out on this.
I will say two real quick things, and then we can start wrapping this up. First thing, I told her, because as we were watching the credits, I saw, who is the arrested character or arrested development character in this movie? In the scene where they go to nowhere, before they show the real one, there is a thing with the collector, kind of like the Howard the Duck one. There is a blue man. You can see very briefly who looks very much like a certain Arrested Development character. One of the Never Nudes. And so he is there. So that is
prematurely blued himself.
Yes. So there you go. That's in there.
Just waiting to get those meaty leading man parts.
The second thing is, somebody brought this up. Mark Ruffalo apparently spoiled this a year ago. It was on an interview with Good Morning America, and someone asked him, how does the next Avengers end? And he's like, oh, the next Avengers is going to end with everybody dying. And he says, everybody dying. And Don Cheadle's beside him. And when he says, everybody's dying, he's like,
shut up.
And they're like, hello? And they're just trying to kind of play it off, and it's like, oh no, he basically spoiled the entire movie. Nobody knew.
Luckily, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until somebody mentioned it with the footage earlier this week.
But yeah, that's how it ends. And I mean, it was just a stunned moment. I'm planning. I'm probably gonna go back and see it again.
Great fucking movie.
Maybe next week. I think I'll have some time. I might go check it out again. Might even check the boy out of school. Take him to see it. He wants to watch it. So, but yeah, I mean, we're left with so many questions. And, I mean, it is a true... And we've had sort of cliffhangers in the past, but nothing like this. I mean, it's kind of like, the end of Civil War. It's like, man, where's this going to go? But now it's like, holy shit, everybody's dead. What the fuck? We're back to the original Avengers.
Anything else you want to?
So what the hell?
Yeah, it was really good. Steve Rogers has a very manly beard.
You got a beard like me. And now I will say this.
Okay.
One thing I enjoyed was Thor kind of having that carryover from Ragnarok, where they gave Thor this phenomenal sense of humor, and he's kept his exchange with Quill, his exchanges with Rocket, his exchange with Captain America. I keep calling Rocket. Oh, hello, Rabbit.
But you'll die only if I don't live.
If I don't live.
Well, yeah,
that's what that means.
That's what that means. He's great. Thor is a big dumb jock is best.
Thor's great. Oh, and Rocket goes through his pocket and actually finds an eye for Thor.
Well, yeah, of course he does.
He's like, oh, thank you, Rabbit. Puts his eye in.
You look like you want to see.
Did Rocket disappear at the end?
No,
Rocket's the only Guardian left.
No, I don't know if she would count as a Guardian. Nebula is actually still around.
I don't count Nebula as a Guardian person.
But she did survive.
When I'm saying...
Sure she's still around?
Yeah, because she's there with... Her and Tony are the only two left on Titan.
We did not see her disappear. We saw her in that scene, and we did not see her disappear.
Her and Tony are the only two left on Titan right now. So, which is good, because apparently Nebula can fly. Somebody's got to get Tony's ass off Titan.
Yeah. So also, Tony's suit's now nano machines.
Yeah, Tony's badass. Well, and just some of kind of our side characters was real quick. Like, we saw Pepper early.
Yeah.
And then when he left, it's like she was trying to call on him. I mean, is Pepper still there? I think we're kind of in agreement that Clint and Ant-Man are probably still around because it would be just too cheap to kill them off that easily. Yeah. Wong.
Yeah.
Wong... I saw a funny meme. There's a meme of Wong. He's like, oh, y'all going to fight Thanos? Yeah, I'm going back here to guard the Sanctum. Y'all have fun with that. Because, he went back to guard the Sanctum and we never saw Wong again. So, I mean, there are people out there that I would kind of expect to maybe see in the next one are going to have stronger roles because they're going to have to. Somebody's going to have to come in and kind of pick up some slack here. Yeah. But, Rocket's the only one of the original Guardians left. The Nano, whatever the place is called, Nanocore, got completely destroyed apparently by Thanos, so they're not really much help at the moment.
Nova Corps.
Xandar.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Xandar got destroyed when he got there.
Asgard is in ruins, shambles. I mean, there's hardly anything left of Asgard. Even though, if you go by what Thanos does, half of these populations should still be somewhere.
Yeah,
that's why I think we'll get Valkyrie back somewhere.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, and I mean, the beginning it was just like the one ship, so it's not like all of Asgard was on that ship.
But you do remember too, there was a moment in that where, and I guess it was after the ship blew up. There's just bodies like floating through space.
Yeah.
So it made it look like there were a lot of them dead.
Forget about Korg. We never saw Korg.
They blew up the ship at the end. That's why all the bodies were there.
Yeah.
Korg and Valkyrie got on an escape pod with half the Asgardians.
That's the dark haired girl.
Valkyrie.
No, the other one, Korg.
No, Korg was the weird alien dude from Ragnarok.
Oh, that's right. I was thinking about
the South African accent.
Who was the girl who was Thor's friend, the really hot brunette?
Kat Dennings?
No, Jamie Alexander. She played like one of Thor's friends, like up in at she was like the only one who had made it and got killed. God, I forgot.
I know exactly. Sif. Lady Sif.
Sif, that's it. Sif. So maybe Sif's still out there. So I mean, there's still people out there that are. Like I said, they're going to have to step up in the next movie.
Lady Sif wasn't in Thor 3, was she?
I thought she was in Ragnarok. I thought she had like a small part in it or something.
Maybe.
Wasn't it at the very beginning?
I think so. But I think she's still alive. I didn't think she died.
Well.
I always will look for a good reason to go back and watch Ragnarok. So I don't know why there. But so now I guess we wait till, was it June or July?
I actually think it's May.
Oh, I'm talking about our next Marvel.
Oh, yeah. Next Marvel is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Evangeline Lilly.
Then Captain Marvel.
And then whatever the fuck this next Avengers movie is going to be.
Just remember, folks, if you need some fun, just end of the month, Deadpool 2 comes out. So.
That's true.
I literally think that's like in the same weekend as the Champions League final.
I think it's the 19th.
Or maybe it's the weekend before.
I think it's the weekend before.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well.
So I gotta... Yeah, Deadpool comes out that Friday. And then the next Saturday is the Champions League final. And then the next Tuesday I got to SmackDown. So I got to figure out where the hell all my money's going this month.
It's a big month for Wes. And it's a big podcast that we are about to end here. So thank you for joining us. If you made it through our spoiler cast, you just got spoiled.
Yeah, but we had a lot of fun talking about. We literally did not talk. We didn't text. We didn't talk on the phone about this. We're like, nope. Mm-hmm. We're waiting till Wednesday night. So, guys, hey, if you want to split this up into 2 different shows, go for it. Listen to your soccer pod and everything, and then hey, next day come right back and listen to your Infinity Warcast. So.
The Infinity Warcast. I like that. So, for one name, technical producer Jackie for hopping on us.
She made a big appearance tonight.
Spoiler, now that she knows we're recording. Spoiler in the Infinity War for us. From McCall and Crime, West Bradshaw, I'm Edward Green. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next we talk, stay safe and enjoy the football.
Allay, allay, allay.
Poor Peter.
Allay, allay, allay. Allay, allay, allay.
You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on NGSCSports.com, where you can get awesome analysis for all things sport. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, iTunes, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, head to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop.